Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley. I'm an exercise physiologist, and today I want to talk to you about inflammation. So first off, I want to say that I'm not a doctor, and so you shouldn't take anything I say, as your doctor told you or as medical advice. This is coming from a person who has, I have an clinical exercise physiologist certification from an accredited source from the American College of Sports Medicine. And so I do have experience and education in nutrition and, basically how the body works and hopefully on how to help you heal the body. So it's just advice coming from me, from my research and also from, just personal experience. All right, with that said, let's get into it. So inflammation, we know that as when we get a cut or we have some sort of damage to our body, could be a bruise, could be anything like that. We have white blood cells and fluid that go to the area in order to decrease the injury. Okay, so the inflammation in that case is actually a good thing. So when we have the inflammation, it's there for a reason. There's white blood cells that help heal and reduce the injury. So once the tissue goes back to the normal homeostasis, then the inflammation should go away. And that is just our wonderful natural immune system. And, that's what we want for it to go away. So what happens in the body sometimes is this chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is something that is ongoing. It doesn't stop. Okay, the body is under this constant, heightened state where there is damage internally. So a lot of times we can't really see it. So I like to tell people to envision their body on the inside. How do your organs look? How does your heart, your lungs, what do you think everything kind of looks like on the inside of you? Okay, so the body wants to heal itself, like as when we get a cut on our finger or anything like that. It's almost like we're vampires, but in, it takes a longer amount of time. So, we may get that cut and then it takes, a couple days to a week to heal and then we're good as new. Okay, so the body wants to heal itself. We just have to eliminate the things that are causing the inflammation. Okay, so it's a protective response, inflammation is, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, so that is the low-grade chronic inflammation that's going to be very detrimental. So that, could be from things that we're ingesting. The main cause of inflammation is a sedentary lifestyle and a poor diet, which is high in fat and ultra-processed foods. So pretty much the standard American diet. People that are eating these types of foods, they have more adipose tissue, more fat, which is kind of like a catch-22 because the adipose tissue secretes different hormones and it secretes mediators to inflammatory processes. So what does that mean? So it starts the inflammatory process. The fat actually does. So when we are holding on to more fat, we're going to have more inflammation. It's just a constant cycle, okay? Because the fat cells actually create things that cause inflammation. And because the body's trying to heal itself, the body wants to fix whatever's going on. But if the stimuli or the lack of, like if you're not exercising and if you're eating poorly in those two, the inflammation isn't going to go away. It's just going to stay there. And then over time, people can develop diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, autoimmune diseases, arthritis. So many different things can be caused by this inflammation. There are many different reasons for disease. I'm not saying that this is the only pathway, but there is a lot of research done, and I will put some interesting articles down below for you guys to check out on this topic, on inflammation and how it contributes to disease in the body. Okay, so pH is something that I've been thinking about a lot recently, and how the pH of our body contributes to inflammation. Again, I found an article, a research article on that. I'm going to post it down below for you, those of you who like to do some reading, and you can check that out. So basically, on the pH scale, anything below 7 is going to be acidic, and anything above 7 is going to be alkaline. So a neutral, very neutral pH is going to be 7. Okay, so you can get pH strips. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them at Whole Foods, and you can test your pH to see where you're at. You can also get a blood test and also ask them for that pH test to see what we're working with. So an acidic environment, internal environment, can create pH imbalance in the body. And how do we have an acidic environment? Well, first of all, maybe what we're eating can cause this acidic environment. Meats, for one, are very acidic. You know, any meats are going to create acid in the body. And that's why oftentimes they will recommend, doctors and medical professionals, dietitians, they'll recommend, you know, the plate. So it's like your proteins and your vegetables. So greens, salads, leafy green vegetables, spinach, those are very alkaline. So when you eat that with the chicken or the turkey or whatever, it becomes neutral. That's the theory, okay? So that's why it's important to get the vegetables in when you're having your protein, okay? So we talked a little bit about the adipose tissue. Again, that is the fat, and a lot of us carry it around the midsection of our body. And we want to try to decrease that in order to help the inflammatory process in the body. So when people start to lose weight, they become less sedentary, then the inflammation starts to come down. And now we know why. All right, so there's a very good article that I read. It's Adipose Tissue Inflammation and Cardiovascular Disease by Anders Berg and Philip Shearer. I think I'm saying his name right. And I'll post that down below. It's a little long, but it's pretty easy to understand, and you can kind of get an idea of where I'm coming from with this. It was published in 2005, so it's a little bit older, but the information, I believe, is still valid, and it's easy enough for anyone to understand, okay? So how do we alkaline our bodies? So leafy green vegetables, definitely broccoli, berries. You can have fruits like pineapple and papaya. They have natural enzymes to help you break down foods and help those cellular processes in your body. Celery is a good one. You can have some beets, turmeric, and ginger is going to be really good. Probiotics, that's a whole nother topic in itself, but you know, your gut, the state of your gut, and that's your stomach, can definitely contribute to inflammation as well. So again, the body works as a whole. It's not just one area, but you know, like I like to say, think about yourself as a living organism. So everything you're ingesting, everything you're watching and listening to, the air, the water, everything that's coming into your environment creates the person that you are. Can we be perfect in this life? No, because we are in this world, this fallen world, right? But we can try to do our best in order to feel our best, so that we can do what we need to do while we're here on the earth. Okay, so you definitely want to try to get good sleep as well. That can contribute to inflammation. Depression can cause inflammation. So decreased mood states, you know, you're going to get a lot of hormones and chemicals in your bloodstream from your mood that can cause inflammation as well. So you want to be cautious of that. And again, the probiotics that will help with the gut, the second brain, that's what they like to say. And that can also help with the mood as well as your digestion and things like that. You want to have pure water, try to stay away from refined oils. And it's really hard to do that sometimes because every time you go out to eat, you don't know what kind of oil they're using, soy, corn oil, and it really, really causes a lot of inflammation in the body. There's a lot of research out now about seed oils and how they cause inflammation. So basically anything that's in its natural state, but it's really, really refined, is something that you're going to want to stay away from. So can we go out to eat once in a while and enjoy a bad, unhealthy meal or whatever? You know, it's really up to you. But it's a matter of what you're doing consistently, and the majority of the time that is going to cause the chronic inflammation. So if you eat a bad meal, maybe have some alcohol, you know, your body is going to heighten or come up with all the inflammation mediators and all of the macrophages and neutrophils and all of the the inflammatory responses in your body, everything that comes from that. But then once the stimuli is gone or decreased, then the body should go back to homeostasis. The problem I want you guys to understand is when you're chronically having these things. That's why people that are alcoholics, people that have chronic food addiction, it's their body is not getting a break from those stimuli, that the chemicals and whatever it is, so the inflammation doesn't go away. All right, so something to think about. Alcohol, I went to a restaurant this past weekend and I had an alcohol substitute called Seedlip, SEEDLIP. You can look that up. I had that with like a ginger shot and some club soda and pineapple and a drink, and it's like a distilled spirit from like different herbs and things like that. So it's has like 0.5% alcohol, and it's kind of stimulates like a cocktail type situation. It was really good, and it made me feel like I was having like some sort of drink or something without any of the side effects. So maybe you want to look into that. Maybe get a bottle for your house, entertain some friends with it, and see if they can tell the difference. Okay, so just to reiterate, what causes inflammation is going to be a high-fat diet with ultra-processed foods without a break from those things, a sedentary lifestyle, you know, our emotions, our thoughts, depression, unmanaged stress, medications. Certain medications can cause inflammation. So you'll see a commercial that says, oh, this medication is going to help this or help that. But every medication has some sort of side effects. So you want to be careful with that, and just be aware that it could cause damage in other areas. Chronic alcohol and sugar abuse can definitely cause inflammation and damage the lining of our blood vessels, and that's not what we want. Okay, so there are some alternatives. I'll just mention a few. Recently, I've been hearing a lot about cayenne pepper and how it can help with blood vessel repair and the viscosity of blood, and helps with inflammation of the joints and things like that. So you can get some cayenne pepper, the powder, and you can just put a little bit in water and just drink that. It doesn't have to be like your food is doused in pepper so it's really spicy, but just like a little tiny bit every single day. It has something called capsicum in it, and that should help a lot with decreasing that inflammation. All right, cinnamon here. I have the cinnamon. I ran out of the cayenne pepper, but the cinnamon powder, this is going to help a lot with people that have diabetes, with blood sugar. It helps with blood sugar control. You can just put this on your food. You don't want to overdo it with anything, guys, so you just put like a little sprinkle on your food or in your smoothie or on your salad or whatever, and it'll really help with decreasing inflammation. You want to get organic. I have some ginger root here, so this is a little nub of ginger root. If you've never seen it before, I put this in my smoothies. So you want to take the skin off, and you just put maybe like this piece here, maybe like an inch size, in your smoothie. I do that every time I make a smoothie. It gives it like a little kick, and it really helps with inflammation. I got the turmeric powder here. This one is from Sun Foods. You can also get it in, you know, the spice section of your grocery store, and it really helps with inflammation. You want to try to have it with some black pepper for the assimilation of it, and that should really help. This is the root, so if you find that in the store, I know Whole Foods has it. You can also use that in soups and different things, and again, you don't have to overdo it. A little bit goes a long way. Okay, and then obviously my blueberries. I love blueberries. Blueberries, I feel like they're so full of antioxidants. They're going to help with so many things in your body. You can just have a little handful every single day, and that should help you a lot. So the first thing you eat in the morning on an empty stomach really has an impact on your body. Also, the first thing you eat after you exercise. So this is when your cells are ready to absorb nutrients. It's going to go right in there, and it's going to build your body better than it was before. So you want to make sure that those meals right when you wake up and right after your workout especially are going to be the most nutrient dense meals or snacks or foods. So fruits, vegetables. I like to have lemon water first thing in the morning, have my blueberries, and then after workout have some kind of fruit. A smoothie with like pineapple, again, blueberries or blackberries, pomegranate powder, ginger, some spinach, kale, and I put water as my base, and then I just get all those nutrients right into my cells after I had a really good workout. Okay, so the last thing I'll talk about is my favorite supplement, and I don't always recommend supplements, but there are some good ones. This one's called Zyflamin. It is by New Chapter. I use this every once in a while. It's really helped me in my life. So This is basically ginger, turmeric, rosemary. It has holy basil. We can talk about holy basil in another video. If I haven't already mentioned it, it's really great. You can look at my anxiety video. It talks about it a little bit too. And some Chinese herbs and green tea. So I cannot have caffeine, and this does not stimulate me at all. It just, I really feel that it helps with inflammation, and I highly, highly recommend it. I can't recommend it more. I had a knee issue probably 10 years ago now. I was at the gym and I stepped off the elliptical and I kind of turned my knee weird and my knee just hurt. And then for a year after that, I'd step weird every so often and I'd get like this shooting pain in my knee, and I just thought that was the way it was going to be from then on. I tried the supplement. I was working at Whole Foods at the time. No lie, it went away. The pain went away with like in a week. And ever since then, I just have it on hand just in case I get little aches and pains. And, you know, it really, really helps me a lot. You want to make sure you're not taking any blood thinners or any certain medications can interact with it. So you want to, you know, ask your doctor if you're taking any medications, if it's safe for you. Okay. And I get the mini soft gels, and you can get this on Amazon because, you know, I don't like big pills. Okay. So I want to close with a scripture verse because all this can be a little overwhelming, this information. We talked about fat, we talked about things that make us feel very vulnerable in our lives, and a lot of things we feel like we don't have control over. So like I always say, whatever you're going through in your life right now that is ailing you, we are on this earth for a reason, and I want you to bring your requests and your prayers to God and ask Him to help you in whatever area you are struggling in your life. And don't think there's anything insignificant to God. You know, he's not busy with other people or bigger problems. You know, you are just as important to Him as anything else. You are a living, breathing human being. And just because there's so many humans doesn't mean that each and every one isn't valuable and important. So you are important, and I want you to remember Proverbs 17:22, that joyful heart is good medicine, but broken spirit dries up the bones. So a joyful heart doesn't necessarily mean you have to be smiling and tra-la-laing around life, but it just means that whatever comes at you, whatever is happening in your life, that your heart is okay, that you feel joyful, that you feel at rest, that you feel calm within yourself, and you can smile and know that everything's going to be okay. All right, so I want that for you today and each and every day, and that is kind of like the influence or the, you know, motivation behind my channel. So I'll be praying for you. Have a great rest of your week. If you like this video, please like and comment and subscribe. Share it with someone that you think it could help, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.